of my life. It felt so good, it felt so right. You bring the sun on cloudy days, all the birds sing your praise.
Any better?
It's your face, your laugh, the way you hear music and the way you dance, but it's your soul that sings to me. I'm here to hold your heart. It's the sweetest gift that I will not drop, and I promise to always stay true. Yeah, I love you so. I love you so. Don't you know, don't you know, no, no, don't you know, don't you know, don't you know, no, no, that I love you so.
Alright, good morning everyone. I've got this pork shoulder roast. This one looks maybe a little bit thicker than the one I just did a couple of weeks ago. James brought this one in this morning and he said that he would like to have pork and sauerkraut. So I'm going to put this pork shoulder roast in my crock pot. I think I'm going to add the sauerkraut to it from the get-go and maybe some potatoes, I think, to do the whole thing at the same time. Now, this is almost, I mean, it's not completely thawed, but close. It's been out since early this morning and it's 11 o'clock now. So, judging from the last time, this won't take very long to cook. So, I'm going to get this in here and get it going. I'm going to show you what seasonings and things I use. Alright, here it is. It's a really nice looking pork roast. And then last time I used this. This is the Grill Mates. See if it'll focus. Okay, it's the Grill Mates by McCormick's. It's this Max's Extra Coarse Seasoning. And it says on here that it's got mustard, coriander, and dill seed. And it's a really good seasoning. I got these. It's a nice size 5.93 ounce bottle. I got this at the Dollar Tree around Father's Day. They had a whole line of McCormick's seasonings for $1.25. So I am going to add this in. This is what I used the last time. I've used this on a few things and I really do like it. Okay, I'm going to put, I'm not seasoning both sides, so I'm just going to put a little heavy coating of this on here. It looks so good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my sauerkraut in. I'm going to drain off a little bit of the liquid first. Okay, this is the sauerkraut I'm using. I pretty much exclusively buy this. I buy it at Aldi. We really like it, and so I try to keep this in my pantry most all the time. So I'm going to put in this whole jar. I have drained off the liquid. James likes the sauerkraut anytime he has it. He likes it pretty sour, but I like it not as sour, so we just meet somewhere in the middle. He likes it not as sour too, but he definitely could have it in all of its, you know, sauerkraut goodness. So I have drained off the liquid and I'm going to get this poured in. Alright, and I'm going to go in with just a little bit of the water just to kind of rinse it out. This pork will make enough of its own fat and broth. And I think sauerkraut tastes the best when it has some brown sugar on it. So I'm almost to the end of my little canister here of brown sugar. So this is what I'm going to add in. This is probably about 1/4 cup. I'm going to sprinkle that on in. And the last thing I'm going to add in is just some black pepper on top. And then here in about 2 hours, maybe an hour or so, I'm going to add in some diced, fresh potatoes diced. So that's what we're looking like right now, you guys. It's going to be delicious, I'm sure. We love pork and sauerkraut. I've never done it this exact way by doing the sauerkraut and the brown sugar, everything in with the pork, but I think it's going to be great. So we'll see together. There's really not much better than a crock pot meal, and the seasonings on this was just as good if I had measured them out. When I didn't, I just kind of seasoned it with my heart. It was delicious. These potatoes, the sauerkraut, everything cooked together had such great flavor. I was in the mood for just some box Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I did the little Sister Schubert style rolls, only I had gotten them from Aldi, their brand. I got them a little too dark, but all in all, this meal was so good. I loved how easy it was having everything together in the crock pot at once. Now I'm going to make a peach cobbler with these delicious fresh peaches. We had already eaten several of these and I had 4 left. One of them was hanging on by a thread. Of course, you can just peel away what needs to be peeled away and use what was good, and the other 3 were just perfect. I love a fresh peach. The color that's in there, just there's nothing like it. Just so pretty. These were really good. So I always make my cobblers like I've shown on here plenty of times with the 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of flour, and then some butter. I normally use canned peaches and I leave in all of the liquid, so I wasn't quite sure how this would do without that liquid, but it was absolutely perfect. I stirred just a little bit of vanilla in there as well, and it came out just great, as it usually does. Even using these fresh peaches without all that juice that I'm used to. These type of cobblers bake about 45 minutes to an hour, and they're so great served with some ice cream on the side. And this is also a really easy way to enjoy whatever season you're in by having seasonal fruit or vegetables. These fresh peaches, when they are in season, are just so yummy. So yeah, give yourself a little treat of a peach cobbler if you haven't had one for a while, and using it with the fresh peaches, it'll just be delicious. All right, now I'm going to bring you along in the kitchen as I am preparing for family night. We haven't had family night in a couple of weeks, so I had prepared a menu for things that I hadn't made in a while, some new recipes, some things I was hungry for that I knew everyone would enjoy. And I'm starting off here with a broccoli, rice, and cheese casserole. I heard about this casserole, specifically this recipe, from the channel called Field's Full House, and it's one of their family favorites. If you haven't checked out her channel and you like large family type vlogging and lifestyle and grocery hauls, that is the channel that you can check out. So she's a sweet gal, and I've heard her talk about this recipe so much, I just thought, you know what, I want to try this. So it's 4 cups of broccoli, 4 cups of rice, and you can see here I used my rice steamer, just put a little butter, and I used the garlic, salt, pepper seasoning blend on my rice, and was able to use the steamer to cook both the rice and the broccoli. So 4 cups of rice cooked, 4 cups of broccoli cooked. I just went in here after this was done. Some of those pieces were so big, I just used my kitchen scissors to trim those down into more bite-sized pieces. And then, you know, in an effort to not have a bajillion dishes, I'm going to use this little pan here from the steamer to do the mixing. And so she does usually a homemade chicken, cream of chicken, but I'm just using the can, and I actually used 2 cans of that. So 2 cans of cream of chicken soup and a couple cups of cheese. And you know, with cheese you can kind of put it in there to your liking. Pretty sure the cheesier the better. So I just got all of this stirred together, and then you transfer it into a sprayed casserole dish, and this bakes in the oven for maybe 30 minutes to I can't remember. I'll have it down below. Be sure and look there in the description box for the recipe for anything that I have showed here, or links to recipes, of course, will be in the description box. Bakes maybe 30-45 minutes, can't remember for sure, but you put this all in here, and then the last few minutes before you take it out of the oven to be served, you want to put in some French fried onions on top, and they just get all crispy and delicious. I really liked that portion of this recipe especially. Of course, you could leave those off if you don't like them, but that nice crunchy topping is great. Okay, everybody, tonight I'm making one of my most favorite chicken dishes. It's called ranch chicken, or sometimes I call it RITZY chicken. I modified the recipe from using saltine crackers to Ritz crackers because I love Ritz crackers so much, so I call it Ritzy chicken. But when it was given to me by a friend, her recipe was called ranch chicken. So here I have one of those big family packs of chicken already. I've got it sliced in half and then into smaller pieces. I've got my Ritz crackers already crumbled up here in my bowl. My dipping station's here. It calls for a stick of butter melted, and then it calls for some ranch seasoning. So that'll focus. So I'm getting ready to put this ranch into the crackers. I'm going to also add some black pepper, and for fun, I'm going to add this Trader Joe's seasoning. It's not going to focus. This Trader Joe's pickle seasoning, I think that's going to be really good. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And so then you just dip your chicken in the butter. Then you dip it in these cracker crumbs and the ranch. And then you put it on your baking sheet. And I'm telling you, something about the butter, it just keeps that chicken so moist and tender. And I love this. I only make it a few times a year, but honestly, I could make it way more than that. I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going here. Okay, so chicken, butter, crackers. So I need to get my ranch in here. So it calls for 1 packet. I'm going to be generous with that and my ranch. You can tell I've shaken it over things when I'm cooking it, and then it gets kind of clumpy. It's not the end of the world. We'll just break it up here. Okay, butter. You really want to press that seasoning and the crackers in there. So it stays and gets a really nice coating. Okay, of course I filled that whole pan up with chicken and a second one as well. I have now cut off some fresh ears of corn. My mother-in-law brought these back from a big corn purchase that she had made. She gave us some, so I cut this off the cob, and I just was sauteing this here in my pan with some butter. I added in just a little bit of heavy cream and a little bit of honey. I didn't show my honey that I added in, but just a little drizzle of honey over the top, put a little bit of black pepper, and that's about it on this. It doesn't take much for some fresh corn, and that was delicious along with our meal. And here it is. Everything is ready. Everyone is here, and it's time to eat. I had these 2 big pans of chicken I told you about. Here it is, all out of the oven, golden brown. I made dressing balls and gravy again. I'm on a kick of those right now. There's the broccoli, cheese, rice casserole, so delicious. And then for dessert, let me show you what we had. My daughter-in-law Abigail, we had this actually on the 4th of July. She made these delicious sweet biscuits. So I asked her if she would bring those again, and I would take care of the strawberries. So here is the pan of the sweet biscuits. And then I had bought 4 pounds of strawberries a couple weeks ago and froze those. So I just pulled those out of the freezer, put some sugar over the top, and served that with those sweet biscuits. So strawberry shortcake. It was delicious. And again, it's one of these sort of a quintessential summer delicious treat. How many more times can I say delicious? It just hit the spot. We're moving towards fall, you guys, so little things like this that say summer, we're just about to see an end of those. Of course, you can have anything you want anytime you good and well please, but when these things are in season, somehow or another, they just hit the spot more than ever. Right, now we're going to work on some Italian bread pizzas, sort of like French bread pizza, but this is Italian bread. And I have been showing you some of our fellowship meals at church. And so for the month of August, we've been having Super Kids Sundays. Every Sunday for the month basically is Vacation Bible School. But it's on Sundays during our regular church service time. It just works out well for our congregation. And so I was the meal planner for the month, and I wanted to choose kid-friendly and sort of cowboy-themed foods. So this particular Sunday was pizza and pasta, because what kid doesn't like pizza or spaghetti and meatballs or something along those lines? So for my contribution, I decided to do this Italian bread pizza, and then I had some little slider buns left over and decided to go ahead and just make little small pizzas on those as well. And we had such a wonderful variety of pizzas for this particular meal. It was a lot of fun and of course very delicious. So I just sliced my bread open. Of course, I did pull out some of the bread. Wasn't the Italian bread is not as thick as a French bread, but it's still pretty bready. So I just pulled a little bit of the bread out, so it would just be a little bit less. And of course, just using my jar of pizza sauce. I did not make it from scratch this time. Just got everything covered with the sauce. And then I fried up the Bob Evans brand of Italian sausage, and that's really, really good. It's a mild Italian sausage. I really enjoyed the flavor of that. I've bought that before, I'm sure, but it's been such a long time. I really didn't even remember how much I really liked it. It's just a very mild Italian sausage as far as spices go. So I got it all topped with the sausage, and then I'm just going to go in with the shredded mozzarella cheese. I just used the bag cheese this time around, and pepperoni. I wanted to keep it simple and kid friendly. And I almost forgot, I added a little bit of these balls of mozzarella, added that on top and put a little bit of parsley, and then just baked it off. And I wanted to show you all the varieties. We had bagel pizzas, we had Mediterranean pizza, we had a cheese and a pepperoni pizza, we had baked ziti and meat sauce, someone brought a corn casserole, we had pizza rolls. This is pizza on naan bread. We had salad. We had a watermelon blueberry mix, and then my sister made this charcuterie of sweets. This was such a hit. The kids loved it so much, and we had cookies and brownies. That's a kid's specialty if I've ever seen one. And I'm finishing up this video with one of our very favorites. If you go to Trader Joe's, you've got to buy the mandarin orange chicken and the vegetable fried rice. This is a meal that will keep you from going through the drive-thru. It will keep you from ordering takeout. It's that delicious, and it's also that quick. You can see the rice says cooks in 5 minutes. I decided to add a little bit of frozen broccoli to mine. That sounded really good. And again, I mean, you just can't beat the quality and how quick you can get this on the table. I did this in my skillet, and then I did the chicken in the air fryer, and it's just one of those meals, in my opinion, better than takeout. We love this one so much. In the nights that you need something quick, this is the kind of meal that comes in handy. Here it is, all served up. It was great. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, would you give me a thumbs up? Subscribe if you've not, and I'll see you the next time, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Bye, everybody.